World's Week is underway, and it's cycling time for Africa. The first rainbow jerseys have been awarded and the atmosphere electric. Elsewhere this week there have been record breakers, sequence setters and both a quadruple and double-double in stage racing as well. Hello and welcome to the Gruppetto.
For the first time in the history of professional cycling, the UCI World Road Race Championships are taking place on the African continent, and Rwanda has already welcomed the world for the elite time trial races. The land of 1,000 hills provided 4 to be climbed over the course of the 40-kilometre route for the men's race, where Tadej Pogačar was attempting to mark his 27th birthday by adding a World TT crown to a palmarès that's already unmatched in modern times. The man in his way was Remco Evenepoel, the Olympic champion and reigning double world champion in the discipline.
There is the sprawl of the capital of Rwanda, Kigali. It's an out-and-back course, 40 kilometres long, at altitude and in high humidity. This is like a test, a few others that these riders have taken on before. And a brand new leader is going to be Ilan van Wilder, who has pulverised the time set by Leonard. Jay Vine is going to be the fastest rider at check 2. And here's Evenepoel, and that looks like it might be game over. Press record, look at this moment, keep it for posterity. The modern GOAT caught by his 2.5-minute man, but Remco Evenepoel has turned up and has completely obliterated Poggy. What a ride! It's Rainbow Remco for the 3rd time.
Of course, I'm disappointed. Remco called me, but yeah, well, he's so fast. It's incredible how good he is in this discipline. Yeah, chapeau, really, what a ride by him. But I saw that I'm 1 second off podium, which is really bittersweet, because maybe if I knew that I'm 1 second in the last kilometer, I would maybe I would have a bit of extra motivation, but I didn't know, and yeah, today I will probably regret, but tomorrow is a new day, and yeah, I can be happy with how I suffered today. It was not my best performance, but yeah, given the circumstances before Canada, I couldn't finish my block of training on the TT bike, and yeah, I can be satisfied, and I'm looking more forward for the Sunday road race anyway.
Wow, that moment, eh? Certainly not one I thought I'd ever see. I even had to press the replay button to make sure it was real. Pog caught and passed by Remco after having started 2.5 minutes before the now 3-time World TT champ. But what was your verdict on the day? Electric Evenepoel, below par Pog, or a bit of both? As always, let us know in the comments section below. Evenepoel's now matched Tony Martin and Michael Rogers 3 titles in a row, so naturally he's come to thinking of what's next.
3 world titles consecutively, you make history even more.
Yeah, I mean, the row I get in is pretty, I mean, are 2 impressive guys with Tony and Michael, so it's a big honor for me to step up there, and yeah, I guess next year I have to go for another one because I want to be the first to get 4 in a row. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna enjoy this one first for sure. Still next week and then the week after, so still a few difficult weeks coming up, but of course I feel very happy, and this is a big motivation boost.
To the women's field now, and last year's winner Grace Brown retired shortly after taking the rainbow jersey. So there'd be no repeat performance here. But former world champions Chloe Dijkert and Anna van der Breggen were scheduled to face stage race stars Marlen Reusser and Demi Vollering.
Final few meters, such a deceptive finish this, uphill all the way to this finish line in the convention centre. She is more than 2 minutes up, that clock is still green. What is that finishing time going to be? 44 minutes and 1 second for our fastest time so far. This would be a huge result for Marlen Reusser. She has been in the silver medal position twice before. She has won the European title on 3 occasions, but she has never never taken the rainbow jersey. She's very much still in the green. A minute up on Anna van der Breggen. Still a little bit of a way to go to the line. Getting out every last little bit of effort here. Is this going to be enough for the Rainbows? It's into the lead for now for Marlen Reusser. The clock is still ticking, and now she is just outside the time of Anna van der Breggen. But can she challenge the time of Brodie Chapman to get a bronze medal today? She's giving it absolutely everything. The line is almost upon her. Final few meters. There we go. Yes, she can. A bronze medal for Demi Vollering.
Marlen Reusser taking her first world title in this discipline, second twice in 2020 and 2021. A turbulent year for Reusser, but she is very much back at the top.
I can almost not believe it. I know it's real and it happened, but I tried so many times and it didn't work out, and now I think I made it, and it's really special. But it was such an effort. I'm still it's more than 15 minutes ago, but I'm still think I need to let it settle.
3 European titles and finally a rainbow jersey. Reusser coming back from that Tour de France opening stage disappointment to bring Switzerland their first women's elite TT title in as many as 20 years.
Many of those solely concentrating on next weekend's road races were still in Europe this week, with plenty of racing at the Tour of Luxembourg. Always one of the stage racing highlights of the late season, the prestigious 5-day event began and finished in the country's capital. The Stage 1 uphill sprint was a real battle.
He goes for glory, Gregoire, with Hirschi on his wheel. Will they be able to hang on? And it's absolutely agonising stuff. And Van den Berg in his wheel. Van den Berg sitting pretty here. I think he's going to be in a very strong scenario into the final couple of 100 metres. Will Gregoire be able to hold on as he goes to the line? And I think he's going to get there. Will Van den Berg be able to come off his wheel in time as they go to the finale? And it is going to be glory on day one. And a beautiful victory delivered for the Groupama FDJ squad by Romain Gregoire.
Mathieu Kokelman had already signed to turn pro at the end of this season with Lotto. But here, racing against the professionals with his Luxembourg national team, he was able to grab his first pro win among the elite. A superb fast finish, beating some top-class operators and backing up his stage win at last month's Tour de l'Avenir. The 21-year-old will be someone to follow closely next season. Gregoire still held the yellow jersey going into Friday's tough uphill finish to Vianden. UAE Emirates were still hunting a record-breaking 86th win of the season, and their former rider Mark Hirschi tried to prevent that happening. However, he was caught, and Brandon McNulty couldn't quite pull it off. Beaten to the win by Matthias Skjelmose, the Danish Lidl Trek star taking the stage, and also with it the leader's jersey. Skjelmose was back at the scene of his first ever stage race win overall 3 seasons ago. But as Ethan Hayter won the time trial, McNulty finished second and put almost a minute into the Dane to snatch the overall lead. A Sunday return to Luxembourg City was won by the man who was in charge when the race left it at the start of the week. Gregoire doing it yet again. But McNulty finished in a small group just behind, and that signalled a couple of big achievements. A 5th career stage race win for the American, but an 86th victory for his team, setting a new mark for the number of successes in a season. At just a few days after they'd equalled the old record of 85 that had stood all the way since 2009. Congratulations to UAE Team Emirates XRG. The Tour of Slovakia began with back-to-back wins for Soudal-QuickStep, both taken by their young French fast man, Paul Magnier. Stage 3 also turned out to be magnifique for the Belgian squad. A hat-trick and still in the yellow leader's jersey with a couple of days remaining. Only one of those days was an opportunity for sprinters on paper, and guess what? The Frenchman duly delivered 4 in a row, before the final day was taken in sublime style by Paul Double. The British rider representing Jaco Alula riding away on the last climb of the race to a stage and GC double. There should be a wordplay in there somewhere, but what's no joke is the achievement. A first ever overall stage race win as pro for the 29-year-old. Magnier, of course, took the points jersey. The autumn one-day calendar is underway in Belgium, and Shari Bossert took victory for the first time since returning from suspension in the summer. The AG Insurance Quick-Step rider from Belgium bettered the rest of the field in Namur to win the Grand Prix de Wallonie. A sprint from a small group gave the 25-year-old Belgian success. After the Fleming had won the women's race, it was a Wallon who gave the home crowd cheer on the way to the city's famous citadel. Arnaud Delis continued his late-season resurgence. A bunch of 50 made it up the hill to the line, with the Lotto man grabbing his 4th victory in the space of a month. At the weekend, Tim Merlier was hoping to enjoy a winning end to his reign as European road race champion. The jersey will be up for grabs again in a fortnight on a very hilly course in France. But back on Merlier's preferred flat terrain, he had to settle for 3rd as Jonathan Milan won the Kampioenschap van Vlaanderen, the Flemish Championship, the Italians' first victory since the Tour de France. Another Delis demonstration won him the Super 8 Classic just 24 hours later. And finally, in France, just over the border in fact, it was a Visma Lease Bike 1-2. Olav Koy taking the spoils home from the Grand Prix d'Isberg ahead of his teammate Matthew Brennan. A textbook lead-out yet again from the young Briton.
So the World Championships are here, and you can watch them all week long across TNT Sports in Discovery+. The first half of the week takes care of the rest of the time trial titles before the road races get underway as the weekend approaches. The elite races are the main event, and the breakaway crew return for one last time this season on both Saturday and Sunday. The women's races first, 166 Ks on the menu, 3,000 metres, just a bit more than that of climbing, some of it on the cobbles. The men's race has an earlier start on the Sunday with an extra 100k to race, a circuit in the countryside before a return to Kigali, where after more than 5,000 metres that have been climbed, the final rainbow jersey will be won. We can't wait for your company, and a reminder to subscribe to the TNT Sports Cycling YouTube channel for short-form highlights if you have to miss anything this week. The Gruppetto will be back next Monday. We'll review it all then. Goodbye.